Battle of Toretsk, Russian 132nd Brigade blocks Ukrainian tank offensive. Toretsk, Ukraine. The ongoing conflict in Toretsk saw intense clashes as Ukrainian forces deployed tanks in a desperate attempt to halt the advancing Russian troops. However, their efforts were thwarted by the strategic response of the Russian 132nd Brigade, which successfully neutralized the armored offensive. Ukrainian troops proudly shared footage of their tank assault on Troitsk, Dzerzhinsk, showcasing their aggressive maneuvers against Russian positions. However, Russian soldiers from the 132nd Brigade later revealed the unshown continuation of the battle, highlighting their decisive counterattack. In a fierce exchange, Ukrainian tanks advanced onto the battlefield, firing salvos while skillfully maneuvering between offensive and defensive positions. The tank attempted to maintain pressure on Russian forces by continuously advancing and retreating after each strike. However, this tactic was closely monitored by UAV reconnaissance units of the Russian 132nd Brigade, part of the 51st Army of the Russian Armed Forces. The Russian drone operators executed a precise counterstrike, launching a well-aimed attack that completely destroyed one of the advancing Ukrainian tanks. Unrelenting in their pursuit, Russian forces proceeded to eliminate additional enemy assets, including several armored vehicles, transport trucks, and anti-aircraft systems, all of which were targeted and obliterated by Russian UAVs. Russian troops attack fortified positions of Ukraine's 155th Brigade. Russian forces launched an assault on the fortified positions of Ukraine's 155th Separate Mechanized Brigade. The attack began with intense artillery shelling, followed by strikes from FPV drones. The offensive systematically dismantled Ukrainian defenses, leaving destruction in its wake. According to reports, Russian artillery successfully hit enemy firing positions, with drone footage showing smoke rising from the targeted areas. A Ukrainian soldier was found dead near the site, while 2 others from the brigade have been declared missing in action. Russian forces liberate Velikaya Novoselka, a key Ukrainian defense hub. Russian troops, supported by special forces, artillery, and aviation from the Vostok Group, have successfully liberated Velikaya Novoselka, a major defense and logistics hub of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, AFU, in the South Donetsk direction. Soldiers from the 40th, 5th, and 37th Brigades played a crucial role in the operation, defeating Ukraine's 110th Brigade and securing control over the entire agglomeration. Velikaya Novoselka, along with Vermevka and Neskutchnoy, formed the Vermevsky Salient, a well-fortified Ukrainian stronghold at the junction of Zaporizhia and the Donetsk People's Republic, DPR. The area was heavily defended, protected by 3 natural water barriers and urban fortifications. However, after prolonged and intense battles, Russian forces took control, marking a significant step in securing southeastern Ukraine. Footage from the battlefield shows Russian tankers and Marines raising flags in different parts of Velikaya Novoselka, symbolizing the completion of the operation and further advances in the region. Battle of Velikaya Novoselka, Russian army controls 70% of the city, encirclement almost complete. The Russian army is tightening its grip on Velikaya Novoselka, a strategically important town in the South Donetsk direction. Troops from the 37th, 5th, and 40th Brigades of the Vostok Group are leading a large-scale operation to clear the remaining Ukrainian forces, with up to 70% of the city now under Russian control. Yesterday, Russian stormtroopers launched an offensive in the southern part of the city, closing in on surrounded Ukrainian units. The Russian advance has breached enemy defenses in both the south and southeast, steadily reducing the encircled area. While some reports claimed the entire cauldron had been cleared, the operation is still ongoing. A key moment in the battle was the raising of the Russian flag over the hospital building at the junction of Shaitanki and Wet Yalov. Troops also expanded control in the city center, seizing key streets and further weakening Ukrainian resistance. Meanwhile, intense fighting continues in the northern part of Velikaya Novoselka, where Russian troops are pushing forward, conducting sweeps, and working towards the town's full liberation.